Part 3, Bree's Turn. Hi everyone, this is Ed, a real human being, not AI, and this is Part 3 of our analysis of Donna Adelson's latest move in the case in which she is charged with the murder of her former son-in-law, Dan Markel. In Part 2, we told you everything we know about Cass Conroy, the first of two former jailmates of Donna Adelson, who supposedly gave Donna information that she could use to discredit state witness Katherine Magbanua. Many of you have suggested that Donna is likely buying off these witnesses. Please remember that this is an early analysis and we don't have enough information at this time to provide a full analysis. There are many possibilities. Maybe these ladies really have information that is useful to Donna, and they want nothing in return for telling their story. Or maybe they don't have any such information, but they took advantage of Donna's desperation and thus fabricated their story to curry favor with Donna, perhaps seeking favors from her. It's possible, of course, that Donna is looking for jailmates who are willing to say whatever Donna needs in exchange for some favors. There are many possibilities. We simply don't have enough to fully evaluate which is the most likely option. The prosecutors and investigators will be looking at all of these issues. All we do here is provide you the information we know and an early analysis of possibilities. All right, in this episode, we talk about the second jail princess that supposedly came to the rescue of Donna Adelson, Brittany Purcell. We'll call her Bree. And Bree has a long criminal history in Leon County. Bree was born in April of 1985, so she'll soon be turning 40. She's white and blonde. She's about 5'4". It seems that Bree first got in trouble with the law here in Tallahassee back in December of 2016, when she was in her early 30s, just weeks after Katherine Magbanua was arrested for Dan Markel's murder, and she was brought to the Leon County Jail. According to the probable cause affidavit in that case, she was at a Kohl's store with a male, Jerry Dare, and then she committed retail theft. The items stolen included earrings, sleepwear, an iPhone case, a Polo watch, JRS innerwear, and other items. When confronted, she admitted that she took the items because she didn't have any money and indicated that she was only doing what her boyfriend, Jerry Dare, had told her to do. At that time, Bree had a Georgia driver's license. She was arrested and taken to the Leon County Jail, and she was charged with petty theft, a misdemeanor. She was released 3 days after her arrest on December 12, 2016, although she was initially put in a misdemeanor diversion program that was later revoked. A capias for her rearrest was issued on July 5, 2017, due to her failure to appear at a case management conference. She was arrested on August 14, 2017, and taken to the Leon County Jail. The arrest report indicated that Bree lived in a camper. It seemed that she claimed that she missed court due to hospitalizations, and the court had her released the next day, August 15, 2017. A few weeks later, the state dropped the case, filing a nulli prosequi, indicating that it felt that the time that she served in jail was enough punishment for her crime. Thus, Bree had very limited opportunities to have met Katherine Magbanua during that time period, but her freedom did not last long. On Christmas Eve of 2017, Bree was arrested outside her ex-boyfriend Jerry Dare's house for violating a domestic violence injunction he had obtained against her. It seems that Bree and Jerry share one child. Just a few weeks later, in mid-January of 2018, Bree took a plea deal in early 2018, receiving a sentence of 11 days of jail with 11 days credit for time served plus probation. However, in April of 2018, she was charged with violating probation because the probation officer was unable to contact her. Bree was arrested on August 18, 2018, and in September of 2018, she was sentenced to 36 days of jail with credit for 32 days already served. It was noted that Jerry Dare voluntarily dismissed the domestic violence injunction case. She was released on September 6, 2018. Bree was charged with a felony for possession of a controlled substance. About 1 year later, in September of 2019, Jerry and Bree were together again. Cops found Jerry helping Bree out of a dumpster and interacted with them. Jerry claimed that they were looking for a phone charger and that Bree is his fiancée and that they are homeless. Bree was found to have meth in her possession, and Bree was arrested. Similar to the prior case, she took a plea, violated it, was rearrested, and so on and so forth. The case dragged on to October 2020 when she was sentenced to 90 days of jail plus probation. Bree's next downfall came in 2023 when she was arrested for various charges related to trespass on the property of a Mr. David Andrews and possession of controlled substances, either meth or ecstasy. She was put on drug offender probation in late 2023, but as usual, was later charged with violations. That case is still ongoing to the present, with the latest order entered on February 4, 2025, an order revoking her drug offender probation and sentencing her to 180 days in jail with credit for 109 days served. It should be noted that Judge Everett is the judge on the case. Bree's latest case had to do with her possible theft of clothes from a Goodwill donation center in 2024. She was not actually charged with the theft, but was charged with possession of controlled substances and giving a false name to law enforcement. This happened while she was homeless, again. For that case, she was sentenced to 101 days in jail with credit for 101 days served. So, the overall picture of who is Bree is very similar to the picture of who is Cass. Both of these shining ladies seem to have similar life paths. Both seem to have lost personal integrity due to abuse of illegal drugs. Both seem to engage in criminal conduct related to their drug use. Both had opportunities to meet Katherine Magbanua and Donna Adelson at the Leon County Jail. It appears that Bree may still be at the Leon County Jail, but if she's there, she won't be there long unless she picks up new charges. In the end, this could be a situation of two jail princesses taking advantage of desperate Donna, or it could be the opposite. Donna looking for easy targets in an effort to fabricate testimony that could help her and her son Charlie. Or, of course, this could be a situation where these ladies actually do have information useful for Donna and Charlie. Again, we do not have enough information to give a final analysis. It's good that the motion to preserve testimony was denied because the state deserved enough time to investigate all of this further. We look forward to seeing what the state comes up with. We can, however, evaluate what Donna said that Bree said. In her affidavit, Donna said that Bree made, quote, a statement, unquote. But during her testimony, Donna Adelson suggested that Bree made many relevant statements. According to Donna, Bree said that Katherine Magbanua told her that if her plan had worked, she would not be where she is. She'd be sitting pretty in Hawaii having a fancy drink. In response to leading questions, Donna also said that Bree said to her that Katherine Magbanua made it very clear that she was blackmailing Charlie, my son. According to Donna, Bree also indicated that Katherine told her that Sigfredo Garcia has a tattoo of her on his body, and that in that tattoo, Katherine is a machine gun. Again, these statements were vague answers in response to leading questions. For example, even if Katherine Magbanua said something like that to Bree, Katherine could be talking about the additional payments she received after the initial payment was made for the murder, or about something else. Certainly, prosecutors and detectives will talk to Katherine about this, and when the ladies face questions from detectives or prosecutors, they will face tough questions, and they will be asked for more details, context, and timing. We know that Bree has been in and out of jail for years. Both ladies live in Tallahassee, and it is quite possible that both heard about Charles Adelson and his extortion defense, particularly if they had become friends with Katherine Magbanua. Then they would be more likely to pay attention to the case. Thus, Bree could have made up some of the above information and added a detail, the tattoo, to try to gain credibility. Maybe Magbanua did tell her about such a tattoo, and Bree used that information to prove that she knew Magbanua. One thing is certain. If these ladies had information on Katherine long ago and did not come forward with that information at that time, it becomes less likely that they are coming forward now just because they want to see justice done. If they wanted justice, they would have spoken about what they knew when they learned it, not a long time later after meeting Donna. Meanwhile, the Tallahassee Democrat has now reported that Donna Adelson was put in protective custody this week because she reported prior threats, attempts of extortion, and also reported rumors spread by a local criminal defense attorney that Donna had let other jailmates use her jail-issued tablet in exchange for those jailmates looking out for her. So now Donna is no longer in the general population. It remains to be seen whether, now that these ladies are free or about to be set free and are probably not able to receive benefits from Donna, whether they will still give testimony favorable to Donna and Charlie. Using these dubious ladies as witnesses does smell like a desperate move by Donna. Neither lady will have much, if any, credibility if they get on the witness stand. We've not heard from them yet, of course, but just based on their background, it seems unlikely that these ladies will make decent witnesses, and clearly both would face tough cross-examination by the prosecution. The credibility of such a story will also suffer because Charles Adelson's own extortion story didn't make much sense. There are so many weaknesses to that story that we could write a whole book about it. Here are just 12. 1. Charles was rich and well-educated when the supposed extortion happened. 2. It is credible that he would not have gone to the cops right away, perhaps in fear of retaliation, particularly since he did not really know who was extorting him. 3. However, he clearly would immediately realize that the extorters could still blame him for the murder even after he made the initial payment and started making the monthly payments to Katherine. 4. Thus, any person with minimal brain activity in Charlie's situation would have found ways to develop evidence to support his future defense that he was being extorted. 5. He would have found ways to record Katherine talking about the extortion, maybe in bed with her, maybe when handing her over the check, maybe on the phone, etc. 6. Even if he did not have such an idea on his own, when Sigfredo and Luis were arrested, but before Katherine was arrested, Charlie hired lawyers. If Charlie had told the lawyers about the extortion, wouldn't the lawyers also work on developing evidence to support the extortion? Particularly while Katie was out, no longer under the influence of the real killers? Remember that Charles claimed that back then in 2016, he still thought that Katie was his friend, that she was not involved. Yet no such efforts were made, which suggests that the extortion defense did not even exist back in 2016. 7. Rather, Charlie's story looked like a carefully crafted story designed to explain away every piece of evidence against him. 8. There are other logical fallacies as well. 9. It seems totally unlikely that Sigfredo would commit a risky murder in a town he did not know well before any guarantee of payment. 10. It seems unlikely that Sigfredo, Katie, and Luis would have been able to obtain enough details about Dan Markel, including where he lived, without help from the Adelsons. 11. If the idea to extort Charles Adelson came from Charles sharing bedside stories with Katie about a plan to offer $1 million to Dan Markel, then why did the killers only demand $1/3 Why not extort all of the Adelsons? And 12, when the killers were arrested, if their plan was to extort Charlie, why didn't they turn in Charlie when they got arrested, or ever? Same for Katie. Why did she wait until she got a life sentence to testify against Charlie? There's so much more to say. To attack Charles' story, all of the evidence that came after the bump, for example, we could go on and on. Katherine Magbanua is not the most credible witness. It makes sense for the defense to try to attack her. They already have a lot to use on cross against her. However, the bottom line is that Katie's current story makes more sense, although we feel that she still has a lot more to share, and her prior proclamations of innocence were as dubious as Charlie Adelson's extortion story, and perhaps as dubious as the credibility of Bree and Cass. Anyway, we look forward to seeing what is going to happen with these two witnesses. If we were asked to vote, we'd probably vote that neither will end up testifying at Donna's trial. What do you think? Where would you put your money? Will Cass testify? Will Bree testify? Or was Donna just an easy trick for these ladies and they have moved on to their next adventure? What is your vote? Well, thanks for watching. I'm Ed, not AI, for Deep Dive True Crime. And don't forget to check out parts 1 and 2.
Sure. Thank you, Judge. During your discussions with Ms. Purcell, has she indicated whether she is familiar with Katherine Magbanua during her prior incarceration at the Leon County Detention Center?
Yes, she did.
Based on your conversations with Ms. Purcell, did she indicate what statements, if any, Ms. Magbanua made to her or in her presence about the Adelson family?
Yes, she's made several statements.
And what were those statements?
Stayed ahead her plan, worked. She would not be where she is. She would be sitting pretty in Hawaii, drinking a fancy drink. That was one of her statements.
What other statements did she make about setting up either Charlie or yourself or the Adelson family?
Kay, they call her, I called her Katie, but they all refer to her as Kay. I guess that's the name she used when she was here. But they said, Brittany said to her that Kay made it very clear that she was blackmailing Charlie, my son.
Okay. All right. Anything further that was said?
Yes, and I guess I should have been prepared. I didn't know I was going to be asked. I'm just a little nervous right now. But she